Today we will do the need for entrepreneurship. What does that mean? Why is entrepreneurship considered necessary for a country? Now, why is it necessary? Now, it is not possible to have economic development in any country without entrepreneurship. So, what do? Entrepreneurs, they employ people. Then they produce goods and services, and this leads to the increase in national income and the increase in employment. So, therefore, entrepreneurship is absolutely necessary for any nation. So, we'll see the reasons why it is necessary. The first is lifeline of a nation. Why is it considered as a lifeline of a nation? Again, because entrepreneurship leads to development. The more the number of entrepreneurs, the more is the development in a country. And more products will be there, more services will be there. So it leads to the all-round improvement of the country. Next is provides innovation. Now, what happens? Entrepreneurs, they come up with new ideas, they come up with new products, and new things keep coming in the market according to the needs and problems of people. So all this innovation that is coming up, like for example, you have LED bulbs now, you have smart lights, you have Apple iPads and Apple phones. All of this is an example of innovation, and all this innovation is possible only because of entrepreneurs. The next is change of growth or inclusive growth. Now, what happens? This means that the environment does not remain the same. It goes on changing. The economy goes on changing. Various factors in the economy goes on changing. So the entrepreneurs, they mold themselves according to the changing environment. Like for example, when earlier cassette players were there, entrepreneurs used to produce cassettes and the tape recorders. But then as time changed, DVD players came in, so they started making DVD players. So they changed themselves according to the environment. And another important thing is that if they don't change themselves, they mold the environment according to their needs. The next point is increased profits. So what do? Entrepreneurs continuously try to improve the technology with which they are producing the things. So this helps in reducing costs. Now when costs are reduced, automatically what happens? Profits increase. And when they have more profits, they can plow back this profit into the enterprise, and this leads to future growth and development. The next is employment opportunities. So what do? They create employment opportunities for a lot of people. If you look at any big factory, you'll notice how many people work in a factory. If you look at a small enterprise also, you'll see so many people working in a small enterprise. So all these people are being employed because of entrepreneurship. It's not possible for the government to employ so many people. So they are creating employment. Now what happens when people get employed? They earn money. This money can be put as savings in banks and various other places, which then helps in investment and helps in increasing the national income. And then the next is social benefits. So entrepreneurship creates not only economic benefits, it also creates social benefits. How? The more the things, the better is the standard of living of people. Like say, when people used to use only bicycles, so they used to travel from one place to the other using bicycles. Then cars came in, so traveling became easier. And with every improvement, what is happening? Traveling is becoming better. You can take the example of bullock carts. to aeroplanes. Okay, so you can see how by bringing in new things, standard of living of people improves, and this helps in benefiting the society. Our next topic is myths of entrepreneurship. What is meant by myth? False beliefs that people have related to entrepreneurship. So the first false belief or myth is starting a business is easy. They feel that you can't do anything, you go and start a business. But this is not true at all. It is not easy to start a business and run it successfully. So a lot of businesses they start, but after a few years they fail because they're not able to make enough profits. So the first thing is starting a business is easy is not true. Then the second is people think that you need a lot of money if you want to start a new business. But this again is a myth. You can start a business in a small way with a small amount of money. And as you grow, you can then invest more and more, because by the time you have started earning profits also. Now, a company as big as Infosys was started with only 10,000 rupees. And that too, Narayan Murthy borrowed this money from his wife, Sudha Murthy, to start this company. Today it's such a big company, but it was started only with an investment of 10,000 rupees. The next myth is startups can't be financed with debt. Again, this is wrong. What is meant by debt? Debt means money which is borrowed. So they say that if you go to a bank, then they will not give money to startups. What are startups? New businesses that have started. So that is not true. So many banks and financial institutions are there which will give money to startups. So many startups, mostly they use debt or borrowed money rather than equity. Equity means owners' funds to fund their companies. The next point is related to this only, that banks don't lend money to startups. This is not true. If you have a good business plan and you go with a good business plan to any bank or financial institution, they will definitely give money to new entrepreneurs also. The next is most entrepreneurs start businesses in attractive industries. So what are attractive industries, like say software and garment business and things like that? But that again is a myth, because entrepreneurs try their hand at anything that is going to give them profits. It need not be an attractive industry. So there is an example of a lady called Mahima Mehra. And what did she do, Mahima Mehra? She started something called Hathi Chap. Hathi Chap is a company which makes paper using cow dung. Sorry, not cow dung, but elephant dung. Does that look like something which is very attractive? No. But that is what we are trying to say, that the industry that entrepreneurs start need not be something that is very attractive. The next myth is that the growth of a startup depends more on an entrepreneur's talent than the business he chooses. Now, it is necessary for an entrepreneur to be talented, but that is not the only thing. The business that he chooses should also be something that is good. It should be a solid, profitable business. Then only can it be successful. And the last is, most enterprises are successful financially. Again, this is not at all true. It is not necessary that every business will do well. Many entrepreneurs, when they start, they earn less than what they would have if they were working somewhere. All right. So very few, it is generally seen that about 10% of the businesses are successful financially. So these are some of the myths which are related to entrepreneurship.